Sending visitors to a website with a low conversion rate is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. You could be spending thousands of pounds to get those visitors to come to your website each month, only for you to then lose them because they're falling out the other end. That's why conversion rate optimization is absolutely essential for any business looking to grow and not waste their advertising and marketing budget. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can start improving your conversion rate and some examples of high converting landing pages and how you can go about skyrocketing the conversion rate for your business. Let's get straight into it.
Okay, so firstly, let's break down the individual factors that are going to come into your conversion rate. So let's jump onto my laptop and I'm going to show you an example of why this is so important. So let's say we've got a product or service that's got an average order value or average contract value of about £5,000. And we are spending £5,000 a month on advertising. And let's say we've got an average of about a £2.20 cost per click. So that means on average, we're going to be getting about 2,273 visitors a month to our website. Now, to give you an idea, most websites are going to convert at around 0.5% to 3% on average. It depends on your industry, it depends on the traffic source, the stage of the buyer journey, but that's a rough average of what websites typically convert at. So let's say we've got a 1% conversion rate and about 50% of those leads that come through are then qualified as potential buyers. And then about 30% of those, when they speak to the sales team, will end up becoming a customer. With those figures, we're going to be making about £12,000 per month and £144,000 per year. Now, if we shift that over and we were to work on increasing our conversion rate just by 4% to bump that up to a 5% conversion rate, look at the impact that it has on the monthly sales and the monthly revenue we are able to make. This is exactly why conversion rate is so critical. There are also other areas of your website that can impact some of these other stages. For example, lead conversion rate. We've been able to significantly increase this by using things like videos on the thank you page. That serve as a reminder for people to show up to a call or get people excited about wanting to turn up to that call in the first place. Because if you can reduce the amount of calls that are dropping off or the amount of leads that are dropping off, you are then going to increase the amount of sales you are making on the back end. So it's important that you break this conversion rate down into the individual stages of the sales process. But for this video, we're just going to be focusing on the front end conversion rate. Now, there's really three main elements that are going to come into impacting your conversion rate. The first element is going to be the traffic source and the quality of that traffic that you're actually driving to the website. For example, are you attracting the right people? Is your ad actually congruent with what you're offering on your landing page? Or is there a discrepancy there that's causing people to drop off? The second thing you need to consider is the stage of the funnel or the buyer journey that somebody is at. If you're speaking to somebody on awareness platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn, you have to bear in mind that the people you're reaching may not be in a position to buy right now. So even if you're getting clicks, those people will probably have a lower conversion rate initially because they're simply not going to buy on that first interaction. Whereas on platforms like Google, you can actually target keywords that indicate what stage of the buyer journey somebody is at. Let's say, for example, I was looking for an accountant. If I'm typing something into Google like, do I need an accountant? I'm probably not looking to buy in that same interaction. I'm just doing my research at that phase. Where if I type accountancy services in London or best accountancy service in London, that indicates that I'm in a mindset where I'm actually looking to make a decision and start inquiring with some firms. Now, the third and final stage that's obviously going to impact your conversion rate is the page itself, and that's what we're going to be breaking down in this video. But it's important you factor in those other 2 points, because even if you have the best designed website or landing page that is well optimized for conversions, if you're sending the wrong people at the wrong time, you're simply not going to get the conversions. So let's look at some examples now and break down exactly what elements go into a high converting landing page. So this is a payroll software company here called MorePay, and this is a landing page that they have for Google Ads that are targeting the keyword cloud-based payroll software. Now, the first thing to take notice of here is these guys have a number of different landing pages for different keywords that they are targeting on Google Ads. So even though the software itself is the same, some people might be typing in outsourced payroll, or some people might be typing cloud-based payroll. Now, one of the things they've done here that's quite smart is they're matching what those people were searching for and having that as the headline. So as soon as people land on this page, they instantly feel like they're in the right place. So the headline is really, really important. And this is really ultimately just about giving people that assurance that they are in the right place. Now, another thing to bear in mind with your landing pages is what we call above the fold content. And above the fold basically means anything that people can see without having to scroll down on the website. The reason this is so important is because a lot of people will bounce off your website before even scrolling down. So you want to make sure that you have some critical elements implemented before people even have to scroll down. One of those is telling people what you do and how you do it. So you'll see here, these guys have got the headline. They've then got some simple benefits here, just 3 benefits listed in a little checklist style format, accredited by HMRC, easy to use cloud-based payroll, secure service, packed with automations to save you time. So it looks like these guys have probably done some research or had to think about what are the key concerns or the key elements that their customers are looking for before making this decision, and they've then implemented them above the fold. The other thing that's really important to put above the fold is to give people some assurance and social proof. You'll see here they've got the assurance in the form of their Trustpilot reviews, 793 reviews on Trustpilot. So it gives people that assurance that they're in the right place, they're in safe hands. They've also got some social proof here with some well-recognized brand names. So when people come onto this page, they're going to feel like, again, they're in safe hands, they're in the right place, and they're trusted by some big companies out there. Now, another thing you'll notice with these guys is that they actually don't have anything else in their menu header here. Whereas if we go onto their main website, they have tons of different items in their menu header. Now, the reason they do this on their paid ads specifically is because when you think about this, if they're targeting this as a keyword on Google, so somebody has specifically typed in this search, they know exactly what this user is now searching for, so they can tailor this page to address any concerns or anything that person might need in order to make an informed decision. They don't want them to be distracted by all of these things, because what typically happens on a website, if you give people things to click on, they're going to click on them. So what would happen is they would end up paying for this click. People would then click around to all these different things, they'd get lost in their website, not really sure where to go, and then life would get in the way, their kids screaming in the background, their boss calls them, and they have to go. So they've just wasted potentially 10, 20, even £30 on this click in an industry like this, and they've just lost that person. Whereas with a page like this, there is minimal distractions, and they're making it absolutely effortless for people to take that call to action. And this is another important element, is that you keep your call to actions consistent and you don't have too many different things for people to click on your landing pages. You'll see here everything is driving people toward this call to action of booking the demo. They've got this form here which again makes it a more kind of personalized approach where people can choose those steps, and again they're then pushing people into booking a demo. Now, another thing that's important to understand is the way people actually read websites. Most people aren't going to read all of the copy on your website. What they're going to do is skim read the headings. So these headings, the subheadings that you have are really, really important to just giving people this overview of what your product actually does and what it offers them in terms of the tangible benefits. Another thing that's really important to do with your landing pages that these guys have done really well in terms of the copy is to address the frustrations or annoyances that your customers may have around the area that you help with. For example, they've got this heading here that says bye same old queries, hello mobile app. So this is speaking to those payroll professionals who probably spend hours of their day addressing queries and emails from employees about when am I getting paid, when's my pay coming, what's my tax code. And they're giving them that assurance that, look, you can get all of this handled in an app that your employees can access. They've got everything they need. So it's taking that frustration and that concern away from people. And the reason this is so important important is because you have to remember people buy from a place of emotion. So if you can tap into some of those emotions, those frustrations, those annoyances that your customers may have, it's going to significantly increase your chances for them to actually take an action and take that next step. Now, as we come down here, another thing that's important to note is this section here, switching to us is simple. The reason this section is so important is because you really want to, in order to get a landing page that converts well, it really comes down to minimizing friction however you can. So what you want to do is think about what are all of the potential objections somebody might have. This is going to take too long, it looks incredibly complex, how am I going to do this? If we switch payroll, it's going to mess up our whole company processes. And you'll see here they thought about every step. So mitigated risk, minimize disruption, worried about time and resource availability on your side. Your dedicated implementation consultant will support you through end to end with the switchover. So they're really thinking about what are these objections people might have. So they're not only addressing the pain points and showing why this is the right solution, tapping into those emotions, but they're now addressing the little niggly concerns that may otherwise stop somebody from actually converting on this page. And they then write towards the bottom because they know if people have scrolled down this far, they probably still have questions. They've got an FAQ section here, which again just allows them to alleviate any concerns that somebody might have. Now, there's a couple of things Morpay haven't done, which I definitely think they could do better. And one of the most important things here is to really think about how can I make it impossible or make it really difficult for this person to say no. When you're looking through your website and your landing page, you need to look at this objectively, get an outside perspective or opinion if you have to, and ask honestly, how easy is this to say no to? Compared to all of the other options out there that somebody may have, how easy is it to say no to mine, knowing that time is a scarce and limited resource for everyone? And this really comes down to creating and framing a very powerful offer on your landing page and making sure that you have a low commitment call to action. For example, on Morpay, you see their call to action was to book a demo. A lot of people, when they're in that research phase, they might not want to book a demo because they feel like they're going to be hounded by a salesperson. So you want to think about how can you position or package something in a way which is lower commitment, but you're still getting that buy-in from people and you're just making an absolutely irresistible call to action. But I'll come on to that more in a second. Now, there's a few other elements you need to be aware of when it comes to conversion rate optimization on your page in order to get consistent growth and consistent momentum so that you can increase your conversion rate over time. One of those things is going to be using something like Hotjar, Lucky Orange, or Plurdy, visitor behavior analytics tools that are going to allow you to view heat maps or session recordings of how people are actually interacting with your site. The reason this is so important is because it will allow you to watch back those sessions and see where is it people are dropping off. Are they leaving the website when they scroll down to a certain section? Are they looking for information in a certain area and can't find it? It's going to give you much more clues and insights as to why people are leaving your website and why your conversion rate may be so low. The other thing you can do, like you'll see on Morpay here on their homepage, they've actually got this Hotjar survey that pops up. So for all the people coming through to their website, they're asking, which of these are you struggling with the most? So people can simply tick a box and click next. The reason this is so powerful, they can then take that data and take those insights and then implement that onto their landing page. Because if they then know 90% of the people are struggling with data protection or data entry, they know to make sure that that is something that is covered and is prominent on the actual landing page. Another thing you can do is use surveys on your target market to identify the key concerns or buying criteria that your customers may have. There are some awesome companies out there like Winter who will actually ask you who your buyer is, who are the decision makers buying your product, and they will actually send your website out to those people and they'll reimburse them for their time, and they will ask them certain questions like, does this website want to make you buy? If not, why? What's missing on this website? Did you read this section? What was it about this section that bored you? Did this section excite you? So they're getting some really, really amazing insights from your ideal customer personas. Another thing that's really important to do is to do regular A/B testing on your landing page. There are lots of tools out there that will allow you to automate this process so that 50% of your visitors will see one version of the page, 50% will see another version of the page. You'll notice some of the fastest growing companies out there do this consistently because it's a way for them to be increasing their conversion rate month on month over time. Netflix is a great example of this, where they're always testing their call to action, their call to action buttons, the way they position things on their landing page to increase sign-up rates. Now, one tip here when you are testing your landing pages is you don't want to be testing too many elements at one time, because if you have a radically different page and that page happens to do better or worse, you have no idea what element caused that page to do better or worse. So you really want to break this down into small micro experiments. The other thing that's important here is that you have large sample sizes to do this testing, and that you actually can wait to a stage where you've got some statistical significance before you make any changes or implement any changes on your live site and landing page. Now, I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest factors that's going to impact your conversions is having a compelling offer, a compelling value proposition that is going to make it extremely hard for people to say no to. I'm going to be linking into a video that I did about this topic and how you can start making an irresistible offer for your business straight after this video. So I'll see you there.